Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the wonderful world of verse peace and breaking down all those traits you've been seeing. With so many traits to choose from, it can get a little overwhelming, right? But don't worry, we've got your back. In this video, we're going to walk you through our verse peace trait tier list, ranking each one from the absolute best to, well, the ones you might want to skip. Whether you're a new player trying to figure out which trait to go for or a seasoned vet looking to optimize your build, we've got you covered. Now, if you're wondering what all these tiers actually mean, don't sweat it, we'll clear it all up. We follow a pretty straightforward system where we rank everything from top tier must-have traits all the way down to the ones that could use a little love, and maybe a buff devs if you're listening. So sit back, grab your snack of choice, and let's dive right into the world of verse peace traits. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which traits are worth your time. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking traits in verse peace. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching! The traits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, superhuman and supernatural. Alright, let's talk about some of those traits in verse peace that, let's be real, are just kinda there. I mean, you see them and you think, oh, maybe they'll give me that edge I need. But nope, not quite. Let's start with superhuman. Now, I know, plus 1.25x DMG boost sounds nice on paper, but when you get down to it, it's just not the game changer you want. It's like putting a tiny turbo on your car and expecting it to compete with a rocket. Fun idea, but not gonna happen. So, unless you're super attached to it, I'd say leave it in the dust. Then we have supernatural. This one's packing a plus 1.5x DMG boost, which honestly is pretty much the equivalent of throwing a pebble in a pond and hoping it causes a tsunami. Sure, it's technically a boost, but it's not the kind that makes you go, whoa, now I'm unstoppable. It's more like, meh, I guess I'll take it if there's nothing else. In other words, it's fine in the early game, but you'll quickly find better traits that make this one look like a warm-up act. So, what's the takeaway here? If you're serious about pushing forward in verse peace, these traits are really just stepping stones. They're not going to carry you through the tough fights or those endgame boss battles. If you can, swap them out as soon as something better comes your way. Progression is all about making the most of your setup, and these traits, they're not it, Chief. The traits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Hunter Dawn and Heavenly Restriction. Alright, so let's dive into the B tier traits in verse peace. You know, the ones that sit comfortably in the middle, like the middle child of traits. They're not the worst and they're not the best, they're just kinda there. Don't get me wrong, they have their moments, but if you're relying on these long term, you might want to start looking for an upgrade. Trust me, you don't want to get too cozy. First up, we've got Hunter Dawn. It's like that trusty sidekick who always shows up to back you up, but, you know, they're not stealing the spotlight. With a plus 5 boost to defense and a 1.25x damage boost, it's not exactly game-changing, but it does the job. You'll feel a bit sturdier and the damage boost isn't bad. It's just that there are other traits that pack way more of a punch. Think of it as your basic shield. It's nice to have, but you know there's a legendary one out there waiting for you. Next, let's talk about Heavenly Restriction. Now, this one's got a little more flair. It gives you a nice plus 25 health, which is solid, and then it dishes out an extra plus 25 to strength, weapon, and special skill point damage. It's like an all-around boost, kinda like sprinkling a little bit of everything into your build. Plus, the 1.75x damage boost is nothing to scoff at. It's decent for taking down some tougher enemies. But again, it's not a showstopper. It's a well-rounded option, great for those who want a little bit of everything, but if you're hunting for that S-tier power, this one isn't it. So, what's the verdict? These B-tier traits are the perfect middle ground. They're reliable, versatile, and they'll get you through a lot of fights, no doubt. But if you're aiming to be the best of the best, you might want to keep your eyes peeled for those top-tier upgrades. After all, no one ever dominated the seas with just average, right? The traits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Armageddon, Special Master, Weapon Master, and Honored One. Alright, listen up, verse peace fans, if you've been grinding like crazy but still haven't landed those top tier traits, don't sweat it. The A tier traits are far from being a disappointment. In fact, they're a pretty sweet deal and can hold their own until you get your hands on the best of the best. So let's dive into why these traits deserve some love and how they can actually boost your game. First up, we've got Armageddon. This one's all about pure power. I mean, plus 50 strength and a 1.5x damage boost? Yes, please. It might not be the crazy multiplier you see in the S tier, but that strength boost alone is enough to help you chop down enemies like they're paper. If you're focusing on pure offense and want that extra punch in your attacks, Armageddon is your go-to trait. Just make sure you've got the right skills to back up all that power. Moving on to something for the special skill enthusiasts, Special Master. This trait is ideal for those who want to maximize their special attacks. You're looking at plus 25 special skill point damage and a nice 1.25x damage boost. It's perfect for those epic combos when you need that extra bit of flair to finish off your enemies. You might not get the massive buffs from the S tier, but trust me, if you know how to stack this with your current build, it can be a serious game changer. Now, if you're more into swinging blades and dealing critical hits, Weapon Master is what you need to watch out for. This trait is basically the sword enthusiast's dream. You get plus 25 sword skill point damage, and it also comes with a 1.25x damage boost. It's perfect for players who rely heavily on their weapon skills and want to turn their sword into a weapon of absolute chaos. While it doesn't have the explosive power of the top-tier traits, it's consistent and reliable, a perfect trait to boost your skill set until you snag something better. Now, we can't ignore the Honored one. This one is a beast and almost feels like it's teasing S tier with the benefits it offers. Not only do you get plus 50 health, always a bonus when you need that extra survivability, but you also gain plus 50 pounds in every skill point damage category. Oh, and did I mention a 2x damage boost? If you're not hyped yet, let's not forget the cherry on top. You earned the Honored One title, which, come on, just feels awesome. It's practically a VIP pass to show off your power until you earn that S tier flex. So, while these A tier traits aren't the absolute best out there, they're still incredibly valuable and can really elevate your gameplay. Think of them as your solid stepping stones on the path to S tier glory. Trust me, if you use these traits wisely, you'll be breezing through fights and stacking wins, making it way easier to level up and snag those top tier rewards. That's all for now on A tier traits. Let me know in the comments which one you think is the most underrated and which trait you're rocking in your current build. And hey, if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button, subscribe for more Verse Peace tips, and I'll catch you in the next one. The traits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Soul Punisher, King, Spiritual, Discyan, and Godlike. Let's dive right into the top tier traits in Verse Peace. If you're serious about boosting your gameplay and maximizing your character's potential, then you absolutely need to know about these gems. Starting off strong, we have the Soul Punisher. This trait is a powerhouse with a whopping 100 defense and 100 special skill point damage. And if that wasn't enough, it comes with a fantastic 2x damage boost. Imagine charging into battle virtually unstoppable while dishing out double the damage to your foes. You'll be the last one standing, and your enemies will be left wondering what hit them. Next up is the King trait. While it may not have the flashiest name, don't let that fool you. With plus 25 strength and plus 50 defense, this trait gives you a solid foundation for both offense and defense. But it doesn't stop there. The 1.75x damage boost means you'll hit harder without sacrificing your durability. Whether you're leading the charge or defending your teammates, the King trait ensures you command respect on the battlefield. Now, let's talk about the Spiritual trait. It's like the wise elder of the group, bringing plus 25 strength and plus 25 defense to the table, along with a 1.5x damage boost. This balance makes it perfect for players who prefer a more versatile playstyle. You can deal damage while staying tough enough to take a few hits yourself. It's a great option for those who want to be both a damage dealer and a reliable teammate, supporting their squad while making an impact. But wait, we can't overlook the Divine trait. This trait may offer a modest plus 25 defense and plus 10 strength, but it still packs a punch with a 1.25x damage boost. It's like a Swiss Army knife. It's not the biggest or the best, but it can adapt to any situation. If you're looking to balance your character's survivability with just a hint of offensive capability, Divine is a fantastic choice. And finally, we have the Godlike trait, which is basically what every player dreams of. With plus 10 defense and plus 10 for both sword and special skill point damage, it gives you that extra edge in battle. Plus, the 1.5x damage boost ensures you won't just survive, you'll thrive. This trait is ideal for those who want a little bit of everything, blending defense and attack seamlessly. With Godlike, you'll feel invincible, like you're truly one step above the rest. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.